Well, I tell you what, I guess they never learn. That what doesn't kill Donald Trump and INFOWARs only makes us stronger. That's right. Margaret Howell's in the studio with us, and I wanted to get your take on that CNN hit piece. Where do we begin? There's so many lies in there about Alex Jones. I mean, it never ends.
They're shameless lies. Not only are they lying, but they know that they're lying. They're doing it anyway, and here's why they're doing it, because they're on the losing end of the stick. They know that they're not relevant. Their narrative is crumbled. It's gone. So, Darren, and I know that we put this in the clip, there's actually a cryon with Alex Jones, our boss's face, and it says KKK leader praises ban and choice. He's not a KKK leader, folks. I mean, I don't know if you've gotten the message or not, but yeah, that's kind of, how should we say, lawsuit worthy? You know, they don't care. We're talking about a network that aired 30 minutes of straight porn on Thanksgiving and didn't notice. That's who we're dealing with. They're supposedly the media elites in this country.
Well, and they always, when they mention Alex Jones in the same breath, it's always conspiracy theory. And they always talk about the 9/11 cover-up, which is no longer a conspiracy theory, folks. It is out in the open. Google search the 28 pages. Turn off your televisions and do some simple research. The documents are now declassified thanks to the 9/11 victims' families who have been pushing Congress for disclosure for a very, very long time. We now know for a fact that the government of Saudi Arabia and members of the Saudi royal family helped train and finance the 9/11 hijackers. This was an act of war, and the cover-up went all the way to the top of the Bush administration. It's a historical fact. We cover it. CNN refuses to do so.
Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11, this we know. More importantly, though, at this point, the 28 pages, the heavily redacted 28 pages that were under a vault, guarded, lock and key, you know, no one could see them except for very high elite officials. A FOIA request was submitted. This has taken years to get this unlocked. They're redacted so heavily anyway. Here's what we know. We know that Saudi Arabia is directly implicated and involved in 9/11. Those are just facts, folks. And the 9/11 Commission report, which is mostly false anyway, we have 28 pages of somewhat accurate information, and we can't have those, you know, shared with the public, Darren, because, you know, that really, it hacks into the lie that maybe they told us to get into war. You know,
exactly.
Wow.
And I want to go over the real fake news, and that is CNN. Because CNN has a long history of fake news. Let's take a look at some of this. CNN anchors fake a satellite interview in the same parking lot. I mean, you could see the same bus driving by in the background as they pretend to talk to each other from separate locations, and they're actually sitting right next to each other, probably as close as you and I are right now.
Right.
WikiLeaks, CNN's Donna Brazile, you know about all this.
Ooh.
I mean, they gave her she gave Hillary Clinton the questions in advance at these debates.
There's no, it's mind-boggling how, of course they have to let her go and let her fall on the sword because they can't actually take any responsibility.
Well, she denied it for weeks until the second one came out.
Exactly. Then you can't really, you know, oh wow, Donna Brazile, where to start with that? But the fact that she was at CNN to begin with, what does that say about their credibility? We're talking about a woman who's made very controversial statements. Look, she's got no problem lying, I will say.
Here's another one. And this one happened right after the election. Remember the guy? They interviewed Donald Trump protesters. CNN caught up with this guy. He was very angry. And it turned out to be, he was the cameraman. So they needed somebody that was pissed off at Donald Trump. And they said, well, let's just get our cameraman. Okay, there's another one. And now I remember this was early during the campaign. Jeb Bush was still running. And CNN ran a report. This was a full report of an angry woman at a Trump rally who was supposed to be an average woman from the audience, and she was mad at Trump for the way he treats women, but she turned out to be a Jeb Bush staffer, and she was planted in the audience. Now, we discovered this within minutes here at INFOWARs. CNN, they certainly could have done the same, but they ran with the story anyway.
Donald Trump is always using the C word about women.
I cherish women.
I cherish women. I cherish women.
I don't think that you're a friend to women.
I knew I shouldn't have picked her.
Did Mom ever stare at you like this, Donald?
So they're the real fake news.
They're the real fake news. That's right. CNN, your time is up. You're at the back of the bus. I just hope that he revokes their press passes, that they don't have a seat at the table in the White House press briefing room. That would just,
well,
you know,
and Alex, and
maybe put him in the back.
Yeah, put them in the back. That's a good idea. Well, we also know this. independent media, social media is taking over. A lot of times Trump's not even going to have to do press conferences. He can get on Twitter or just do a video on Facebook.
Just live stream, bypass all this garbage altogether. They're going to take everything you say anyway and twist it, contort it, and lie about you. You might as well, I'm greatly encouraged by the meeting that he had with media elites in this country. He understands what they tried to do to him very well. And I think that the live streaming aspect of that would be a much better decision as opposed to entertaining these frauds. They're frauds.
They're absolute frauds. Now, do you think that fake news, that's going to be the new narrative, and it's going to replace conspiracy theories? It's now going to be fake news.
Excuse me. I think that, no, I do. They've tried to paint us as fake news. You know this. Even doing a hit piece, Aaron Burnett did a hit piece on Alex and trying to link him to Trump so that Trump disavows him. They're the real fake news. I'm so tired of hearing this. We've seen Yahoo News come out and try to censor and indict fake news. Facebook accounts being taken down if they're reporting any truth or any facts. Twitter being censored. I want to tell people, and Leanne and I touched on this briefly last night, Twitter, Jack Dorsey owes Trump a check for just the fame and traffic that he brought to Twitter. How dare he? They'd rather cut off their own hands and stop making money as long as they can hurt Trump somehow, as opposed to just, getting on with it. It's really strange.
Well, and same with the mainstream news media. I tell you what, their ratings would skyrocket if they just tell the truth.
Correct.
But it's not about that. They're in bed with the establishment. That's where they get their marching orders, and that's what this is all about. But look, fake news is here to stay as far as the talking point within the mainstream media. Facebook and Google plan to punish alt-right news sites and refuse to pay them for advertisements. Apple is purging Breitbart. So get used to it. I think we're going to hear a lot more about this in the future.
I agree with you. Despite the fact that Breitbart had 168 million in traffic on their website last month alone, despite the fact that the word on the street is that Nigel Farage is going to start writing for Breitbart. They have very talented staff, and they really work hard to bring people the truth. You and I cite them often on the show. None of that matters at all. What matters is that, they're fake. And we got to get rid of them because it's our position to do so.
Well, the good news is independent media is here to stay. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Barack Obama makes fun of Donald Trump for saving jobs in America. The INFOWAR's Nightly News will return right after this. Stick around. It's the illusion of choice. Think about it. The mainstream media is owned by only a handful of megacorporations with vested interests. But on the other hand, the internet is an interconnected network of billions of sources. So you can research information for yourself from multiple sources, or you can blindly accept what you hear or read in the mainstream media, never questioning what you are being told. This gives you a false sense of reality. In case you haven't heard, INFOWARS has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. INFOWARS Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the INFOWARS crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to infowars.com/app and download today. INFOWARS Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the INFOWARS store that are only available for INFOWARS Prime subscribers. That's INFOWARS Prime at infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.